Hey there tech fans, Rick here again from the OREI team with an overview of the UHDS-212 2x1 bi-directional HDMI switcher. This product is very unique because it can be used as both a single input dual output HDMI switcher as well as a dual input single output HDMI switcher, which makes it incredibly versatile and the perfect solution anytime you'll need to control the connections between your media devices and your monitors. For example, you can connect two media players up to the input on the product with a single monitor on the output and use the switcher to decide which of those media streams is being displayed on that single monitor. Or you can connect up a single media player to the input with two monitors on the output, and again, use the switcher to decide which of those monitors will display that content. The product fully supports all modern media streams, including 4K, it's CEC compliant, and will support HDR content as well. Now, as part of this overview, I'd like to start with an unboxing of the product just to show you everything that's included with the kit, and then I'll actually take a closer look at the switcher and explain the connections you'll need to make to use it with your own equipment. I'll list the features and functions the product supports, and then finally, I'll come back and actually demonstrate the product here to show you all the connections you'll need to make once you get it home. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you first open up the box, you'll find the 2x1 bi-directional HDMI switcher, and you'll find a full instruction manual that lists connection diagrams, specifications, and other important details you'll need to understand about the switcher to use it properly. Now, if you stay tuned, next I'll take a closer look at the unit, list the specifications, and then come back and do the demonstration. The 2x1 HDMI bi-directional switch features a heavy-duty plastic case which makes it very durable and really lightweight. On the top of the unit, you'll find a button in the center and two LEDs labeled 1 and 2. That button is used to change the relationship between the inputs and the outputs, and when you tap that button, one of these two LEDs will light up, letting you know which of the inputs is being sent to the output. I'll explain that a little bit more in a minute. On the front of the unit, you'll find two HDMI ports labeled HDMI 1 and HDMI 2, and on the rear, you'll find a third HDMI port simply labeled HDMI port. And the reason for that is that this switcher can be used in one of two modes. You can use it to connect two media devices to the front with a monitor to the back and use this button to switch between those two media devices and decide which of those outputs is sent to that monitor, or you can spin it around and connect a single media device here with two monitors on the output and use that button to decide which of those two monitors will display that media content. On the bottom of the unit, there's a nice soft rubber pad that helps to protect the surface you're setting it down on. It also helps it from skidding across that surface. It'll stay pretty much where you put it. It's a great product to use pretty much for any situation where you have to switch the inputs to the outputs. Again, whether you're switching two media players between a single monitor or a single media player between two monitors, this switch will do the job. The OREI UHDS-212 is compatible with all HDMI media devices, including computer systems, game consoles, media players, streaming devices, and DVD players. The product's features include full support of 4K media content, bi-directional inputs and outputs. It can function both as a single input dual output switcher as well as a dual input single output switcher. It's both HDMI 1.4 and HDCP 2.2 compliant. HDR media is supported, and it's fully CEC compatible. Now I'll show you how to use this 2x1 bi-directional HDMI switcher with your own equipment. And this is a very unique product because it can operate in one of two different modes. In the first mode, you can connect up two different media devices to the input on the HDMI switcher and a single monitor to the output, and use the button on the top to decide which of those two HDMI media streams is currently being displayed on that single monitor. In the second scenario, you can connect up a single media player to the input on the switcher and two monitors to the outputs and use the button on the top to decide which of those two monitors is currently displaying the output from that particular device. And I'll show you both of those scenarios in a minute. But for this demonstration, I've set up two small media players over here that are currently displaying different images just to make it easy to tell them apart, and those are my media devices. Over here, I've set up two monitors as my output devices. Now, the first scenario I'll show you is the case where you've got two different media devices you'd like to switch between on a single monitor. So I've already connected up two HDMI cables to my media devices, and I'll plug those into the HDMI input 1 and HDMI input 2. Now, the minute I add the HDMI cables to the device, you'll see a blue light come on, letting you know which of the inputs is currently selected. This product does not require an external power supply. All the power required to operate the module is sent over the HDMI cable. Now I'm ready to connect up my single monitor, and I'll plug that into the third HDMI port here. Now, the minute I do that, the switcher is analyzing the resolution of the monitor and the resolution of my content, making adjustments to give you the best possible picture. What you're seeing there is the output from one of the two media players. Now I'll tap the button. It'll take a second to readjust, and you'll see the output from the second media player. There you go, it's a laptop. If I want to go back to the game console, I tap it again, and I'm back to the game console. This is really handy if you have a media device that you need to connect up to a widescreen TV and you want to share that display between multiple devices. So let's say, for example, a game console, maybe a DVD player on the same monitor. You can easily use this to connect both of those up to the input with the monitor on the output, hit the button to switch between them. Now the second scenario is a little bit more complicated. It's a single input device, maybe a laptop or a computer on your desktop, and maybe two monitors that you'd like to switch that device between. So in that case, you'll take your media input to the single connection, and I'll connect both of the monitors up to the output. And what you'll see happen here is one of the two monitors will display that output because, again, I've got a single media device to multiple monitors. You can't display it on both monitors at the same time, but you can switch between the two monitors simply by tapping that button. So right now it's on the bottom monitor. Now I'll tap it, it'll move to the top monitor. And again, it takes a second to readjust because the monitor resolutions may be different. And there you go, it's just that simple. This is handy if in your computer room you've got a laptop and multiple displays that you'd like to send that output from the laptop to. You can use this just by tapping the button to move between those displays. And what makes this so special is the fact that it can be used in both of those scenarios. Most HDMI switchers are either a single input, dual output, or a dual input, single output. Depending on the scenario you're trying to connect different devices up. This one can function in both of those scenarios, so it makes it incredibly versatile and really the perfect switcher to use in any situation where you need to control the connection between your input devices and your output devices. And it's just that simple to get it working. I hope you found this overview of the UHDS-212 2x1 bidirectional HDMI switcher helpful. It's an incredibly versatile device that's perfect for any situation where you need to control the connection between a media device and a monitor. For example, on your desk, maybe you've got multiple monitors and a single computer, or in your media center where you've got multiple devices like a DVD player and a game console and a single widescreen TV. This is the perfect solution. And the fact that it fully supports 4K content, is CEC compliant, and can support HDR content as well means that you can use it with all modern media devices. Everything you need to get started is included with the kit, and with a few simple connections, you can be up and running in no time. So until next time, thanks for watching.